I'm Andre Fernandez, that's David Furones, and we're at Flanagan High, and you're watching the Gridiron Report.
All right, Andre, well, we have another slate of games to get to this week. My second week filling in for Manny making these picks. Last week, we actually ended up just agreeing on every game, so there was no real action in the picks.
You got to break it up a little bit. Disagree with me. Fight me on stuff the way Manny does, even when he's wrong.
All right, here we go. We'll see if it's a little bit different this time around. Okay, we start with a Thursday game. Ronald Reagan coming off the loss. Now they face North Miami Beach. This game has some real big playoff implications in District 13-8A.
Well, here's the thing. I started the season thinking Reagan was a potential playoff team. Slipped up against Varela. That's not a good sign. NMB got crushed by Carroll City. They still have a lot of talent on that team. It's a small squad, but they're good, athletic, fast kids. That's where I think they might have some of the advantage. If they can limit the mistakes, limit the turnovers, the horrible punting situation they had last week, if they can do all that, I'm going with the Chargers.
I just don't like that they gave up 239 rushing yards against Carroll City, and Reagan can run the football. I have Reagan winning.
Go with the Bison. Go with the Bison. Disagree with me.
We already disagree. We already disagree on the first one.
There you go. Set the tone.
Next game, we have Central versus Northwestern. Historic rivalry here. But, Andre, is it really a rivalry when one team wins all the games? Yeah. Northwestern hasn't won in this matchup since 2007 when Ja'Cory Harris was the quarterback.
And then in those days, it used to be the other way around. Central couldn't buy one in this series, and now it's totally shifted, and there's no reason to think it's going to change right now. I mean, Northwestern's in a rough patch, like I said before. Still can make the playoffs if certain things break their way, but it's not going to happen this week. I think the Rockets roll.
Yeah, I am with you on that one. Yeah. Central, no question. But Northwestern will put up a fight for at least 3 quarters. We go to Curtis Park now. Coral Gables and Miami High, another neighborhood rivalry. This one, they're fighting for a second spot in District 14.
14-8A, yeah. Like we said, the Cavaliers, you know, they've hit a little bit of a patch too where they've struggled a bit, but this is the game they have to win. I know someone who's a Miami High grad, but, you know, I'm related to him, but I got to go with Gables. What do you think, Dad?
I'm taking the Stingarees. Go with Stingarees.
Well, the Stingarees, they haven't started this well since the Clinton administration, 1999, but I do have them falling in this one. Coral Gables. Miami Springs and American, a big district matchup. Neither one of these teams want to get the second spot and have to play St. Thomas Aquinas. Who do you have in this one?
No, they don't. Absolutely not. I mean, you want to get this district championship. And I think that, you know, American has been better than Springs and everyone else in that district so far. Don't underestimate the Golden Hawks. They played them tough last year down the wire. This will be a good game, but I got to think American is better this season from what I've seen so far.
I also have American, and also don't count out Matter in that district either. They're that third team that is vying for a spot there.
But that's the week after.
Right,
We'll
exactly.
reach that next week.
Up next, we have Jackson and Cardinal Gibbons. 2 teams, one from Dade, one from Broward. This is a district matchup.
Well, I've seen what Earl Little's done at Jackson. I like what he's done. I think the Generals are on the right track toward getting back to being, you know, a consistent playoff team. But this Gibbons team is always well coached. They have a good running game with Deion McIntosh, and they're at home. It's not a good formula for Jackson. I got to go with Gibbons. It's
real tough for Jackson to have to travel back up to Broward again for a district matchup. They went to Plantation 2 weeks ago. I think they're too young to win this one against Cardinal Gibbons. I see Gibbons winning and remaining unbeaten. Up next, St. Thomas Aquinas and Cypress Bay. St. Thomas Aquinas has shut out their opponents in the last 3 games, a combined 192-0 advantage for the Raiders. Yeah, well, you can get the calculator out and add some more points to that this week. I mean, not as many because Cypress Bay is one of the better teams in town. They're not going to get rolled and steamrolled as badly as some of these other teams, but it's a mismatch right now just because of the level, the mindset on that team. Just everything changed once they beat Miramar. It is. I'm with you. I think Cypress Bay at least scores. St. Thomas Aquinas' shutout streak ends, but yeah, they roll. Yeah. Hallandale at Dillard this week. Andre, who you got? Well, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's another playoff potential game. You know, that district, it seems like you just can't lose one because there's so many teams vying for spots, and I don't think Hallandale will. I think it'll be tough. They'll go out there, and Dillard's always tough to beat at home, but I have the Chargers in this one. I don't see them slipping up. Dillard is tough, but I really love Hallandale, that offense. I think they roll in this one as well. Now, the big matchup, the big kahuna this week, Miramar and Flanagan. Big district matchup between these rivals. Andre, who do you have? This is the prove-it game for this school. I mean, I think it's been building up to this. You know, this team took a step last season by making the playoffs, by getting in the first round. They had a heartbreaking loss to Deerfield, like Coach Bush said. But if they're going to make a statement, it has to be this week. I believe they can. I think Miramar is still good. They're still in the mix.
but they've had some issues, and right now Flanagan's I'm going with the hot hand. I'm going with the Falcons.
Yeah, we have the dark side against the Dirty Birds. And Andre, this is a classic matchup that Miramar just wins when everyone's on the other side. But I think it's Flanagan's time. I'm going with the Dirty Birds as well.
I think they're going to have a rematch possibly in the second round, unless Monarch disrupts all that, but we'll see. That's for later on.